Hello, beloveds. I'm so excited to introduce you to probably one of the most amazing souls I have ever met in this physical world. Her name is Debra Martin, and she's a healer. And Debra, do you have a website? It's called what? goldenmiracles.com?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. goldenmiracles.com.
And
Thank you
this
so
is her
much.
book, as you can see on the screen, Proof of Miracles. And I really urge you to really read her book and sign up for a session, because I gotta say, I had a session with her and it just blew me away. And Debra, has created a new kind of healing. And I'm gonna let her explain it. But trust me when I tell you that if you ever experience this, there is nothing like it. You can go to Reiki healers, you can go to angel healers, whatever. You can go to doctors, that's all good. But she takes it to the next level. So, Debra, do you want to describe your method, and then we'll go back and hear your story?
Yes. Okay. So I was given the gift of healing and really not understanding what that meant. So I allowed God, Spirit, the divine to teach me, right? So he was my teacher. And I learned that I would be a proxy for people. Now, I've been a medium for many years. So I would use my mediumship abilities of what am I seeing? Am I seeing spirit enter the room? Am I seeing spiritual surgeons into the room? Am I being going to go on a vision, like a meditation and being able to see? But I can also hear, right? Because a medium hears. So
Mhm.
I'm hearing the voice of the divine speak to me. What is really happening in your body? Not only what you're feeling now, but maybe where it came from, or a root issue, or maybe past issues that you are still experiencing pain for, or emotionally, physically, or spiritually. So emotionally, there's people that really struggle with being in this world the way it is today. And so there's no limit. There's nothing too small, too big, but I just surrender and I allow the divine to fully take control and orchestrate the entire session. And like I said, I know nothing about you, but some people say it was kind of weird how I knew everything about them. and and I don't even remember everything. So I do
And let me
record
just
them.
make this real for people who might be listening to this. She goes into a sacred healing room in her house. You don't even have to be near her. I was
Right.
in my home in Arizona and she was in her home. And she goes into her sacred healing home and she does her own meditations and prayers. And then she lays down on a healing table and she calls in God and the highest realm energy, the highest realm of love, energy, and healing. And then she experiences these beings and God working on her body as a proxy for the client. And I'm
Correct.
talking very specific here. When I did my session, I had a pain in my pancreas, and she experienced pinching and surgery in her pancreas. And then me at home at the same time, I was feeling it, not even aware of what she was doing. I was feeling all that same stuff. So it's very specific in your body. And then she does cover all of your body. But in this strange way, her body, she kind of offers it up, really,
Mhm.
to be the channel of healing. And she experiences it physically, not just emotions or energy. She physically experiences your healing. Now let that just digest for a moment, because I haven't ever seen another healer do that.
You said it perfectly, exactly what I do. And people sometimes have a hard time listening to the recording because they're like, why would you take on that pain? I felt almost horrible that you're feeling the pain that I do. And it's a gift. That's what God taught me to do, that when I feel it, I don't deny it, right? It gives you that comfort of going, well, when I go, ow, well,
Right.
that ow is real, right? So I'm
Yes.
going to go to that space. And there's emotional where you start to cry when I feel the divine enter the room. I start weeping before I can even get the words out. It's such an intense love that these are things you can't deny, and you just are walking through the process of each step of the way. And there's people that have lost loved ones that want to connect in a healing. So we bring them forth, and they might have a hug, they might hear words, they might go to a space that they can be in and then always listen to this recording and be there again. There's just, it's limitless. How can I say that? It's limitless. Not one healing's the same, and I'm always in awe and on my knees, really, in gratitude afterwards. I mean, you probably heard me at the end of yours. It's like I'm weeping with gratitude.
Yeah. It was just
That
beautiful
profound.
experience. Yeah. So Debra, I know you talk about your near-death experience. Is that where you began to understand what your gift was? Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I was sick and dying, and I wanted to leave. I didn't want to be here. I was in a lot of pain. And like I said, I was a medium already, but so I could see spirit. And one day I was just like, can I just be done? And spiritual surgeons showed up in my room. Now, because I'm a medium, that didn't scare me. I just thought, well, okay, maybe they're here for me, right? And I started feeling this pain, and it was really, really painful. And I had to go through it. But I remember just kind of disconnecting from the pain, right? And then before I knew it, I was out of my body, and I was floating and going to another space. And when I came to this other space, it was just surrounded in white light and love. And there's no one around. I'm kind of looking around like, okay, now what, right? And then I saw this great being come towards me. And that great being came, and I've had 3 NDEs. This time I was being held, and I was watching, my soul was watching my body. And I was now conversing with this highest divine and mentally. And he took me to a space, and we had a conversation. And in that conversation, he told me that I was in borrowed time and that I needed to come back. But if I came back, I would have a new mission. And so I read my life contract. You can't see the ending. You can't see below, because we each have free will to change where we're going. But he did say, remember this date, 1/21/12. And everything that is reversible. So are the numbers. But he signed it too. By seeing that signature, I knew spirit always had my back.
Yeah.
And so when I came back, I started not knowing that I had the healing ability, but I was healing myself.
Right.
And then I started healing others, and they were miraculous. Like, you couldn't deny it. And at that point, I learned I had the voice coming from the divine, speaking through me and showing me everything about a person and their body. And
So I'm curious.
I don't want to take that ownership, right?
And
like,
how
it's
did
not me.
how did your first client go? Like, did you go, hey, I want to try this and see if this, like, how did you get to do that first?
Well, people knew of me as a medium, right? And then so I'd have some family members. God knew who to bring to me. That would be like, oh, I'm having tongue cancer. She was going to have her tongue cut off. And so I was like, well, let me do this healing for you. And would you not know, she didn't have to have the tongue cut off. She went into surgery not knowing what was going to happen when she woke up.
Right.
But I laid on the table and felt it for her. And so the process just began.
Right.
And then it just got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's kind of like with anything, when you have a relationship, your relationship grows and it gets deeper. Right. So each step of the way I was learning, and it would get better and better and better, to the point where now it's so fine-tuned. Dr. Evan Alexander and Karen Newell did a testing on my brain, right? Like, when we were doing a healing session, and he's like, you go into such gamma, like really deep, almost as if the numbers were so high that I would be under anesthesia. And so he's like, don't go to those rates. And I was like, okay. And they're like, you're going there. I go, I'm not trying. Right. And so that's what happens, is you just are. It's just who I am. And I am so lucky to have had this gift that I can share with the world. And I don't want to say it's me, because I'm only the vessel. I remove myself. And so I give all credit to the divine, all credit.
And what's interesting, Debra, is I think I've told you before, but I grew up Catholic. And so the Catholics really do talk about miraculous healings with Mary and everything. And there's always a sense in those healings, at least to me and my Catholicism growing up, that Mary, and even Jesus kind of was crucified, for his truth, and accepted suffering as part of the journey to cleanse us, to help us raise our energy. And when I experienced that healing from you, and I'm not a Catholic now, I'm actually becoming a unity minister, so I have a much broader understanding of God. But what I felt going through that healing was, it reminded me of my Catholic childhood and learning about the saints who would heal people, and what their lives were like and what they went through. And you have some resonance with those Catholic saints, and I don't know what that means or if it's past lifetime stuff, but that's what I felt from you.
It's amazing you say that, because there's a 102 old priest, the oldest priest in the United States, and his name is William Tracy, and he read my book and had to meet me. And so we had a connection that was such a love connection. And I cry with this because it means so much to me. But he said, out of my 77 years of practice, I know the popes, I've met everyone. I've never felt as close to God as I do with you. Right?
That's amazing.
It doesn't get any better than that. So with you share that, you felt that same presence. So it doesn't have to be a certain religion.
Right.
It's all one religion. It's all one love.
That's right. That's right. And I would even say that somebody who doesn't believe in anything beyond the physical, they're always looking for something to change their mind about that, because they aren't, most of the cynics that I know are testy with you because they want you to prove to them that, yes, there's something beyond the physical. and that's kind of hard to do. But I would say that to any of those people, that if they went through a session with you, they might come out of that with a very different opinion about if there's more to this world than the physical.
Right. And I'm not here to make you believe, but I have had the most skeptic, because everyone's deserving. You don't have to believe to receive.
Right.
And so just open your heart and say, what do I have to lose? Let me try.
Yep.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Want to tell people that would help them understand?
I would just say never lose hope. I was losing hope. I was like, I'm ready to die. And don't lose hope, because it's there for you. And pray like I prayed, and allow yourself to be held in that light and in that love, and feel it. And that love and that joy that you will feel will raise that vibration and give you that hope that you need.
Thank you, Debra. It is just an honor and a blessing to know you and to talk to you, and especially to have received a healing session from you. So
well, I feel the same way about you. It's interesting. I've never met you, but yet I have this love for you, and that's what I feel. When I heal, you feel like you know each other, and we did. We had a soul to soul connection.
Soul to soul, absolutely.
So I can't wait to meet you in person. Thank you for this time and this interview.
Bye-bye.
And bye.